Hello. My name is Quatisha Renee, and you are watching Quatisha Creates. Hello, besties. So today we are going to be stripping some tumblers. Up until this point, the only thing I've used is acetone. I wanted to try out some different methods this time. So we're going to strip a tumbler using the Citristrip. We're going to be stripping this tumbler using the Citristrip, but we're also going to use it on this tumbler. I used acetone to strip this previously, but as you can see, it still has quite a bit of glitter on it. So for the alcohol method, we are going to be using 91% isopropyl alcohol, and I'll be using that on the crystalac tumbler that I made. I already know that Citristrip works well with epoxy-free tumblers, so I'm going to try the alcohol method using this tumbler. Just for kicks and giggles, we're also going to use an epoxy tumbler to see what happens when we use alcohol to try to strip it. For the acetone, we'll be doing the foil method, and we will be doing the bucket method for one also.
Okay, first we are going to start with our Citristrip stripping gel on an epoxy tumbler, and we will be using a silicone makeup brush to smooth it all over. You want to make sure that you are getting it edge to edge, and if you have a tumbler with a handle, you need to make sure you're getting the handle as well. After that, we are going to wrap the tumbler in foil and make sure that the entire tumbler is being touched with the foil. We're going to put it in a plastic bag and zip it up.
This is a previously stripped tumbler. We stripped it using acetone a while ago, and it's just been sitting in my garage for a few months since stripping. We're now going to apply this Citristrip. I think this will work really well, but we shall see.
And once we've completely covered it, we're going to wrap it up with some foil and put it in the bag with the other one.
So this tumbler, we're going to do acetone. So with this one, what I like to do is just go ahead and wrap the tumbler in the paper towel.
And then we're going to completely saturate our paper towel and wrap the tumbler up and put it in a bag. And make sure that you squeeze all of the air out of this bag before you seal it. With this tumbler, we are going to be using the bucket method. And with this method, you just basically put the tumbler in a bucket that has about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch of acetone at the bottom. You're going to put the lid on and let it do its thing overnight. The third method that we will be doing is the alcohol method, and we will be using it on this epoxy tumbler, and we will also be using the rubbing alcohol on this epoxy free tumbler. And like with the acetone method, we are simply going to wrap our tumbler in a saturated paper towel. So with this tumbler, we will be saturating the paper towel with 91% isopropyl alcohol. Once that paper is nice and saturated, we are going to wrap the tumbler in the foil. And when you're wrapping your tumbler, do make sure that you tuck in the top part so that you can make sure that you have a really good seal. And then we are going to put it in a bag, squeeze out all the air, and close up our Ziploc bag really good. And we are going to repeat the process with this crystalac epoxy free tumbler. So we're going to saturate our paper towel and wrap it in foil. Make sure that we have good coverage on the top and the bottom, and then we're going to put it in the same bag as our other alcohol tumbler.
We're going to go ahead and we're going to jump in and we're going to see what we have after 24-ish hours after applying our acetone, our Citristrip, and our rubbing alcohol. So let's go ahead, let's jump into it. Oh, okay. Let's see how it's doing. Ooh. Okay. It's coming right off.
So the Citristrip worked really well on this tumbler. Just a reminder, this tumbler had paint and glitter on it after it had already been stripped using acetone. There was like some more difficult spots that was still present. So all I did was grab a magic eraser that I cut and dipped it in some water, and this stuff, it just came off, and it turned out like amazing. It looks like a brand new tumbler on the outside. I do have a video planned showing how I clean the inside of my tumblers. So you definitely want to make sure that you're subscribed and your notification bell is on so you can be notified when I post that video. And here we have the epoxy tumbler that I put the Citristrip on. And you guys, it just didn't work. So it did make the epoxy a little gummy in some areas, and I was able to scrape like some of the epoxy off using a craft knife, but I wasn't about to do that for the entire tumbler. So after playing with it a little bit, I just ended up throwing it in my bucket of acetone. So here we have our alcohol tumblers. First, we're going to take a look at our epoxy-free tumbler. Now, while opening this tumbler, I am noticing that the paper towel is like no longer really wet. And I had a difficult time trying to pull it off of the tumbler. But once I cut into the glitter and all that jazz, like everything just started peeling away. I'm not used to having to do this much work to strip a tumbler. So I did kind of talk a little junk while I was peeling the tumbler, but I did stay with it, and it took me probably about 15 minutes to pull all the stuff off it. And here are the final results from that. And here we have our epoxy tumbler that we stripped using or attempted to strip using the alcohol method. And you guys, I was most impressed by this method. I wasn't initially expecting any results, but it did a pretty good job at lifting the epoxy off. It did not lift off everything, but I peeled off what I could, and this is what was left from that. The rest of this epoxy did not come off. So what I ended up doing was throwing it in the bucket with my acetone soaking tumblers. And now we're gonna move on to our acetone results.
Ooh, this is strong.
And this is what our tumbler looks like once we've unwrapped the tumbler. The epoxy is just falling off of the tumbler. There is still quite a bit of glitter and paint on the tumbler, which is what I was expecting. Most tumbler makers would, from this step, go and sand the glitter off of the tumbler. I do it differently now, and I do have a video already posted, so if you want to see, just go ahead and check out my video for the perfect strip. And here we have our tumbler that we stripped using the acetone bucket method. This tumbler, as expected, the epoxy is just falling off. This is one of the reasons why I do like using the acetone bucket method, because it's just, you know, satisfying. This tumbler does have some scrapbook paper on it, so I just peeled it off and it came right off. And this is what we were left with after 24 hours of soaking in acetone. And you guys, that is it for this video. Tell me in the comment section which was your favorite way to strip a tumbler. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you want more content on how to become a better glitter tumbler artist. Till next time, bye bye.